It looks like you're very successful.
Oh God, guys, let me know. Oh, it says streaming. It says a
Yeah,
complete
man.
breakdown of the electric cup. I mean, we gotta wait to see if people join. You gotta see if the the voices of myself and you are good. If the music's
Yeah.
too high, I think I may have you a little bit too high there. But yeah,
It sounds all right
it sounds good.
on my headphones. Yeah.
Like the music too. Like it's not too loud, right? I don't want
Correct.
it to
Like I could very audibly like hear you and I talk in a conversation overneath the music.
Perfect. This is the best meta. Oh, look, Lyles is super busy, but he took the time to come in.
Oh, thank you, Lyle.
Thank you, Lyle, for stopping by. Lantern, that's the show. That's
the show.
Uncle B said, "What's up?" Yo, but this is not BTW, right? This is Pallet Town PvP.
This is Pallet Town PvP.
Yeah,
yep.
where they're like, "Yo, what's going on here?" This is
I
not
know,
Fish or Lyle.
This is not. Yeah, we're. I
don't
have the
know.
same glasses as Lyle, so I'll
Hey,
be the busted battler for this stream.
You gotta argue all my picks. So you gotta, every time I say like this is a good pick, you're gonna be like no, because this and that, right?
Correct. Yeah. Hard loses. Like what are you gonna do? Against like Lantern coming in. Lantern's just busted. Like
Honestly,
what are you gonna do? Like throw a couple Fury Cutters and then just get Thunderbolted. Like obviously.
For sure. But yeah, no, for sure. If you Lantern, normally I always argue, and then we did record a episode yesterday on the pod. That we like. I like to say like usually number one. This doesn't always mean it's gonna be OP, but in this case, I think it's gonna be busted for sure. As you can tell, I mean, like if you look at it, like honestly, like it just does really well against like most of the stuff. And there's only what 49 Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a very very small. Yeah, 49 ending up with Rotom Wash.
That's insane.
Yeah. Where could you get a Rotom? Was that only at like GoFest?
I think there was like another chance afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I have like 6, maybe 7. There was another chance of getting it. There is a lot of talks of potentially doing a rock, like double rock, kind of like how there is grass hole in Weather Cup. You could potentially run. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but this also comes to where I check the lantern. Water gun lanterns is gonna scare away all the growlers, Geodudes, golems. And then that's why I really like Electrode, Hisuian Electrode, because it resists all the moves from Lantern. So I expect that to be a big play for sure in whoever plays the Electric Cup. But I think that those two for me are like very good. Like even against the rock throwers, Electrode Hisuian does fairly well.
I'm excited to at least take a look at like the top 10. Why don't we just like break down like the top like 12 and then go through them, and then we can look at some of the matchups after we kind of talk about them, because I honestly think like probably the top 15, there's pretty much going to be about 15 Mons as the meta. I don't think the rest are pretty viable. Unless you're a psychopath running like Electros in this thing. So
yeah, by all means, go through this top 12 if you want.
Yeah, so just starting out at number 1 is Lantern. A pretty HP weighted Pokemon that we all know. They are having it run Water Gun over the Thunderbolt, which makes sense. Just because of the electric type resistance to that. So we have the key ones being Manectric, the Geodude family, which
gets wrecked.
I think is the only reason why like Lantern's number 1 is just based on like how like high up those rankings are for the Graveler, Geodude, and Golem. And then like Manectric, Shadow. But I'm very curious to see if this is going to turn into like another Gliscor or purified Gligar situation, like in the Ember Cup, where it's practically useless. So hey, what's poppin', Mustache? How are you doing?
Mustache, what's up? Which is funny though, just before you continue on, I was actually looking at the matchups, and you would think a grass electric type would, well, more of a grass type would be a lot dominant versus Lantern, but it seems like it's still fairly close even after like you do the like 1-to-1. Like it gets it down to the 16 HP. So in the 2-to-2 it's a little bit closer, and obviously probably in the 0-to-0 like it just completely like gets wrecked, but it still makes it close. Like the fact that it makes it that close, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting when you look at its matchups from worst like to best. You have Galvantula, Hisuian Electrode, a normal Electrode, and then Minun, and then after those four, it's all positive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, based on like the core meta, I could see why, you know, Lantern having the minimum amount of like only really like 4 mons that you have to like watch out for. But even those, you have like when you get to Electrode and Minun, those are seemingly like pretty flippable matchups here with a 461 battle rating. Needs 5 turns of difference. So let's see what happens if we like just give this like 3 water guns. Does that do anything to it? Or 2.5 turns here.
Did it make the difference with the turns or no?
I'm trying to. It says 3. Oh wait, I messed up. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, that's still crazy. I mean, it gets it down that low. It literally looks like the most safest thing you can use for this meta.
Yeah,
I feel like the only thing that, yeah, which is crazy. The only thing that's like would be a little bit of an issue, like we saw, was probably Galvantula, but even then, I feel like that is probably like also like dependent on energy as well.
And go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, and like another one that people have mentioned, like they're checking their Lux Ray, which we talked also about on the pod. They're like, why hidden power ground? And the thing is, like, you gotta check your Lux Rays because you can only learn one of the hidden power typings. So you either have ground or you don't. You can't TM it. So
have you checked your Lux Rays?
I have not. And I'm like, okay. I'm like thinking, I'm like, holy crap. Like I don't think it's, maybe some people argue that you can potentially use like the fire one, but I don't know. Because it's good for the hidden power ground, is good for like, you can tell like the Graveler, Geodude. Probably you can see also that it's for the Golem, so the whole Geodude family. And it just does super effective to basically any of the electric types. So that, I mean, like looking at that, like it's still crazy that it does like make a difference. And a lot of people did argue before, like hidden power, you don't ever want to use hidden power with the exception of like these kind of cups.
Right. And it's just because of the energy generation on hidden power, right? From being like a 3-turn move. When you look at 7 and 8, Luxray versus Manectric, they both have their 3-turn move of, you know, hidden power on Luxray and Snarl on Manectric. But when you look at how many fast attacks it takes to get to Psychic Fangs on both of them, That's a lot of time that you're saving with Snarl's energy generation there.
That's a huge difference for sure on that. But again, like I think, I mean, first of all, you gotta first find the hidden power ground luxury, right? I don't know if you checked yours.
I checked mine, and I was thinking the ground is the most versatile moveset because it hits the electrics, and it can do like neutral damage on Lantern. But is there any viability for hidden power fighting, specifically against like the Geodude family as well? Because you'll still do like neutral to the rest of the meta, with the exception of I believe, what is it, a Galvantula?
Yeah, Galvantula.
Right.
And the Dane you would do super effective on Togedemaru if you saw those, but I don't know if anybody's gonna run that. Magnezone family.
Right. I mean, Magnezone, you'd pick up super effective damage to that. So you'd be resisted by Dedenne. You'd do super effective against Togedemaru, the Magnezones. Neutral on pretty much everything else.
I mean, like we said, there isn't much else. So, like, the only thing that's resisting... Okay, maybe Zapdos, right? Zapdos would resist it, or any flying...
Emolga.
So I'm thinking those. Okay, so I mean, Lyle did mention another one that could be potentially grass if you're trying to go for the. I mean, but that would still be resisted by Galvantula, right?
Right.
So yeah, so I mean, grass, I can see it before Lantern because of how popular it will be. And also the Geodude family. There is Mustache did say something about using a Patchy XL. I mean, for Patchy, I mean, if you look at Pachyrus is just all electric types moves, and it loses to like a lot of the core meta, which is like Graveler, Lantern. So I don't know. I don't feel too comfortable even using it, and it's probably like the thickest electric type in this cup too. So an interesting one that I feel like that we might see a lot of is potentially Ampharos, because of like the neutral moves that it has, and it does have a Brutal Swing, which a lot of people are starting to use. You can even go with Dark Dragon Pulse. So I feel like it has a good coverage as well in this cup. I mean, like, yeah, sure, you have Volt Switch, but it gets to the moves pretty quick. Again, it's a glass cannon. I mean, it does lose to some of the bigger names like Lantern, Galvantula, but probably all just depends on like if you land in a move. Imagine if you landed a Zap Cannon on the Lantern. So, I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be videos on those. So,
sure. How much damage would that do? That'd be crazy. Are you running Shadow or are you doing normal Ampharos?
So I've always liked the damage on the Ampharos, so I would do Shadow if I did have one. I don't think I do have one. Unless if I somehow do end up having one, I may try. I just feel like the fact that you want to try to get Pokemons that don't really throw moves that are electric types. So Brutal Swing, you know, this thing has Power Gem, sure, for like Galvantula even. But Brutal Swing, you can hit neutral on literally anything here except for the Dedenne. Which, again, like the Dedenne may be kind of popular too. And even with the Dedenne, you're looking at it to use Tackle. And then Shoestar says, so I need to evolve all my Shinx now? Probably, if you want to see which ones have it. It's like winning the lotto, right?
Yeah.
It's like winning the lotto.
I know. Hey, welcome in, Pedro. How are you doing?
Pedro, how's it going? I don't like Ampharos at 1500. It is very uncomfortable, but there was a cup where it was very popular that everyone was using it. I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago. I don't know, where Ampharos was kind of popular.
Yeah. What was that cup? That was with Amoris as well, right?
Yeah. Not what holiday, right?
Holiday, yes.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Holiday. Yeah. So did we talk about Minun yet? Because that's another. Like,
we have not.
That one to me looks good, and I'm starting to look at it myself for Ember Cup. The rise of Minun is like just going higher and higher every time.
Interesting. Why? What makes you say that?
Because, well, I mean, if we're gonna sidetrack a little bit right now with for at least, you know, this cup, but for Ember, you have an electric type that's hitting Piloswine with super effective again with Grass Knot, right? So that's why it's just it's just versatile. But for this cup, I like it because you can hit Grass Knot on Lantern.
Right.
And then you have the option of using Quick Attack instead of its normal, what is it, Spark? Yeah. Yes. And they're both the same, you know, energy gains and, you know, 2-turn moves. And you're not getting your fast moves resisted. So I expect a lot of Minun, Lantern to be there for sure. How is the matchup? Like, let's just say it does lose against Galvantula, which is normal. To me, it's crazy. I don't know if you're noticing that a lot of Pokemon are losing to Manectric, and Manectric is semi-glassy, right? It is a glass cannon.
Do you think it's because of the Psychic Fang's defense debuff that a lot of mons are losing to it?
I think it is because it has a high attack stat, right? So like you're looking that it gets to the moves, Psychic. Let's see. Oh, well, that's because it shields a Psychic Fang, and then it lands a overheat.
What happens if you turn baiting off?
Yeah, no baiting. Let's see. Still, let me see. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Here, let me see. This one's not gonna bait here. So if you turn off baiting, you lose.
Okay, so this rating against the meta is 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. Let's turn off baiting.
And
2 wins, 11 losses.
Wow.
So it is extraordinarily bait dependent.
Yeah. But then you also are very scared to, you know, let's just say over here, what is this? A Minun, which we talked about that. Oh, by the way, they asked what moves Minun has. It is Quick Attack,
Quick Attack, and
well, it has Thunderbolt, Discharge, right? Swift, we don't talk about Swift, right? That's not relevant. But anyways, talking about the Minun, how bulky it is, and if it doesn't get debuff, right? You just throw an overheat direct, they don't shield, it still does 73, almost 74% damage on the Minun.
Sheesh.
Yeah, sheesh is correct. Like, okay, let's just say, like, how much damage does that do to? I mean, that's the thing though. So like, it makes sense why it loses to like the Geodude family, which is weird that it does lose to Geodude, but it kind of almost wins against Graveler.
It's just that the less bulk on Graveler.
Yeah, probably. But again, like the fact that if you land an overheat on almost anything here, except the only thing that's not scared of it really would probably be Lantern. Even though, yeah, Lantern, unless if you want to change the moves from Manectric, which you probably don't, it does learn a lot of good moves: Wild Charge, Overheat, Psychic Fang, Thunder. I mean, you definitely want the bait move. You definitely want Psychic. So I mean, what about if you? Yeah, you definitely. I mean, that's the thing though. You want Overheat because everything else is basically resisted in this electric type meta.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so answering Mustache, it was that was Minun versus Manectric. So if you aren't able to land the bait, I think it might be closer. But if you bait and then they shield the bait, and then obviously, as you can tell, after the bait, if you put that back on, if you bait and they shield, a overheat after the Psychic Fang does 92%. And that's to a Minun again. Like, it's just insane damage. And like, let's just put it in perspective into, like, let's just say if you were to do a Manectric versus a Lantern. I know it loses, but if you are able to somehow land, which I don't, it doesn't even let you get to it. But let's just say you're up 2 shields and they're just 1. An overheat after 2 Psychic Fangs only does almost 56% to a Lantern. So like,
okay, so
it's,
go ahead.
It's, I don't know. I mean, like, it's good. Like, it's scary good. But again, it's a glass cannon, so you kind of got to build some bulk around it. It's not that great against, like, if you want to use Manectric, which I'm actually kind of liking. I don't mind Snarl. Trying to think. So like, you want some bulk. You're afraid of Lantern, and if you're afraid of Lantern, then maybe you bring Minun.
What if you take out Overheat and you put Wild Charge on your Manectric? What does that do for the Lantern matchup?
So in that scenario, it probably flips it, but the thing is, I feel like for that, let me see, it does still lose. Even after landing the Wild Charge, which does almost close to 69%. And that's after the Psychic Fang. So normally it does 55% to it. So to me, I feel like it's not worth it because the overheat does so much more against the whole meta.
Right.
So you're only switching out the Wild Charge just for the one Pokemon, unless if you have your other Pokemons built to beat this. But again, like, why you're just basically using like Wild Charge for Lantern only, when we saw that it does like 55% with overheat versus a Wild Charge is 69%. Like, okay, maybe like 15% difference. So well, what does Lyle say right here?
Lyle says they lose to everything
else.
with
Wild Charge, which it makes sense. Wait, are you talking about like with I'm assuming with Wild Charge he's saying they lose to everything else. He's like, I remember another Pokemon. Oh yeah. So in the Weather Cup, I was trying to make a certain I guess it was supposed to be a legendary or a pseudo legendary Pokemon in Kanto region. Arcanine.
Okay.
I was trying to make Arcanine work in Weather Cup. That didn't go well. That didn't go well. No.
What was the fast move that you were using for it?
Snarl. That's why he was saying. I remember another Pokemon with Snarl Daniel like in Weather Cup, and it's funny because Arcanine is a dog as well. So,
all right.
I mean, like I said.
So can we talk about Galvantula on here, because I feel like that is going to be on everybody's team.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, like, if you look at it, if you're like doing like from worst to best, I mean, Lantern is on top of its list. So if you were to run let's just say your own, like your Galvantula, you definitely need a counter for all the rock types, so you'll definitely bring out your own Lantern with that.
Mm-hmm.
So And then see, like, you lose to all the rock throwers. Where I don't know where. That's so weird. I'm not sure where. What's his name? Geodude. It's probably Geodude is probably there. It's just probably not showing up here. It loses to Electivire, but in here you're seeing that Electivire. It looks like I didn't realize this, but just quickly, I think Electivire is preferred with Flamethrower and Ice Punch here. Yeah, so that makes sense. So it loses to that, but it's only 4 Pokemon, right?
Right.
It loses only to 4 Pokemon, even though I'm not sure why it's not losing to Geodude. That's what I'm a little confused about. So maybe let's check out the matchup in that regards. Geodude, we want Rock Throw. That's sus.
Refresh.
Wait. There has to be something here, right? That's messed up.
Did you keep
okay, here you go. Do all Pokemon. And then I mean it's crazy because the meta that it doesn't define Geodude as meta because it's how hard it is to get, I guess, maybe the XL. Not everyone has the XL Geodude.
Right.
So it's not considering that. So it still loses to it. So Galvantula does lose to a bunch of Pokemon. Still like 12, but still not bad. I mean, I don't expect a lot Orikoros there at all.
Orikoros.
I don't expect Zapdos unless if you're crazy. I mean, there might be those people, but I still expect a lot of people to use Rock Throw for sure. So
what would you pair Galvantula with? Because I'm thinking probably like Hisuian, Electrode, or Lantern.
I do like Lantern better, like, because we mentioned how OP it is. If you get a chance, you either build a team that's like solely will help you beat Lantern in the whole meta, because I feel like Lantern will be in almost every single team, if not every team. And then we also noticed that Galvantula is preferred with the Lunge and Energy Ball and the Fury Cutter. So basically any Pokemon, any electric Pokemon that you see here that can learn some other thing that's not resistant with the electric type is going to be using. And this is where it helps this. Even Galvantula, like with Energy, an Energy Ball against any of the Geodude family, it will do a bunch. And here, if you do the here, let me see. If you were to do the actual moveset that it has against this, it still probably loses. In the zero shield scenario, it beats the Geodude. So I'm sure that has to do also with Graveler and Golem. So
right, okay.
I mean, Energy Ball does almost 94% to a Geodude. So I'm sure that's the same scenario for like.
It probably one-shots Graveler and Golem for
exactly.
like.
Who's here says Estra's favorite beats Lantern. Raichu. We did not talk about Raichu. I mean, Raichu probably. It does have what, Brick Break, right?
Yeah. Oh, they're having it run Skull Bash and Brick Break in here. That's interesting.
Whoa, wait. Raichu. Huh. So, I mean, that seems interesting. I mean, if you want to get spicy, I mean, you also have like Raikou that has Shadow Ball, but again, like there isn't too much to go crazy on. I mean, you also have a Alolan Raichu with Grass Knot and Psychic. Where is this Raichu? They might miss it completely. Oh, Raichu, number 20.
Pick number 20.
Wow. Yeah, Laos is excited for that. I think he has
I know, Brick Break Skull Bash. Let's go. Lyle will play the Raichu with Charm.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
he's feeling this is gonna be a tap cup. So,
Charm Chew, double rock throw in the back. No, please don't do that.
Let's go.
No. But yeah, Thunder Shock, Skull Bash, Brick. That seems interesting. I mean, does it still beat Lantern? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it does. So I think Hoosier lied to us. Yeah, it still loses to it. Maybe in the 2-2 shield scenario. Maybe if it's running the wild charge is my guess.
It's gotta be having to run the wild charge.
Okay, to be fair, I feel like maybe the Raichu would be more of a closer. Okay, maybe not. I don't know.
Boom Basti says charm smack hole people arrive.
The only way, I don't know. I don't feel good about Raichu. Maybe if you build a team around beating Lantern potentially, because, or maybe if you change the Brick, I don't know, to Thunder Punch even. Like it'd be a lot. Yeah, it seems a little bit better, but like it seems like Lantern still can comfortably get. Okay, actually, wait, it's getting closer. Okay, so it seems like maybe if you want to have some kind of coverage versus Lantern, you may want to run Thunder Punch, but Brick. I mean, again, that's just like the Thunder Punch is just solely for Lantern, and like I don't know if you really want to build a Pokemon just specifically for that, even though like we mentioned, Lantern will be, I feel like, in every single team.
Well, what does it do if you just have Brick and Thunder Punch, and you just kind of like use it to spam out? Because the Thunder Punch will be like coverage against the rock throwers, or sorry, the Brick will be coverage against the rock throwers, and then let's say like it's your, I don't know why it would be your safe swap, but let's say you're locked into a Lantern, and then you can just spam out Thunder Punches and essentially just try to chip away as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, could be possible. I actually did. I don't know if you see this though. It might be better if you do want to run Raichu. Do you see this? Okay, I switched the fast move from Thunder Shock to Volt Switch. So PvP Poke recommends Thunder Shock for the fast move, but because of Volt Switch doing a good amount of damage, neutral damage to Lantern, now in the 2-2, it barely beats it. Instead of before,
it was like what?
27. It was 27 health on Lantern and 0 on Raichu with Thunder Shock. When you switch it to Volt Switch fast move, it beats it with 3 HP. So
oh wow.
Yeah. And that's obviously if you have a good Raichu. I think if you do want to run Raichu with this moveset, definitely do Volt Switch. It seems better to me because then it just does more damage,
right?
And then you get to the move still in 3 Volt Switches every time for the Brick.
Is it 3-2?
It's 3-2, yeah.
2? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 3-2. And then for Skull Bash, I believe it's 5. But I think I do. If you do want to run that, I feel like that would probably be like the preferred move, because like, yeah, that it would make sense to me if you do want to make the Lantern matchup a little bit closer at least.
What does that do against the meta if you have that move set?
That's a good.
Why don't I'll run? You change the move set to what you think it was against Lantern, and then I'll run the sim with the PV Poke rankings, and let's compare like the wins to loss ratio.
And they're just doing the meta, right?
Yeah, I'm just doing against the meta.
Okay, so it picks up one more win with Volt Switch.
Okay,
yours has, what is it? Oh no,
I'm
wait.
661.
Okay. So this one is 760. So it picks up the draw. So it does pick up the draw. Now, how about if you change your moveset from Thundershock and then you have Skull Bash, Thunder Punch? I still think prefer that one. So it makes that one difference. And you, instead of drawing, you pick up the matchup, and it's probably closer with overall the rest of the Pokemon. Like if you look, okay, so if you look up like what's the worst matchup right now, the 191.
Luxray.
So
or me, who's on your screen?
I have Manectric, yeah. So you have a battle rating of 114, and mine is 191.
Wow.
So it makes that much of a little bit of a difference, at least.
And one more time, just for the viewers, what was the moveset on Raichu for you?
Volt Switch, Skull Bash, and Brick Break. So just changing the fast move.
Dang.
Yeah. But if you do, like, let's just say, what about if you do all of the Pokemon? So like if you change that all to all the Pokemon and then see if that makes a difference.
Yeah.
So I have 63.3% win rate.
I have 33 wins, 15 losses.
33? Okay, so
yes.
Maybe overall against like the all Pokemon it might be better, but again, like against the core meta, like it does do better. So I have 31 wins, 18 losses. So I think if you're just worrying about the meta, which this seems to be like only like 15 Pokemon of the meta, or 13 even, like it's still, I think it does slightly better overall. And then you get a little bit more extra like electric or neutral damage against like flying electric types if they have it, water, electric. So, and then Blob, I think Blob, was that Blob? Yeah, it's Blob. Galvantula, mine, and Geodude. He says that is Coach Blob's team. So Lyle no longer is the only one that creates teams now. The family of coaches right there.
So we put Volt Switch on Raichu, and it gave him more positive matchups against the meta. What if we do that with Galvantula?
For Galvantula, I feel like it's not gonna help it. But let's do it.
Okay.
I'll do you keep the regular ones, and I'll change the move set.
Actually, you know what? I think you're right, because Fury Cutter and Volt Switch are Volt Switch will just do more damage, but they're still getting the same energy per turn ratio.
Yeah, because we mentioned that, like, okay, it's kind of like saying like, oh, let's do Lantern with Spark. Like, we wouldn't want to do that, because you want moves that aren't being resisted. So Fury Cutter is not really being resisted. Plus, Fury Cutter would help you against like Hisuian Electrode.
Right. Yeah.
So
it is a very big difference in the win loss.
You don't want to do that. Hoosier says, who would you pair best with Raichu? So we're looking at Raichu again. Let's see. So we saw that it loses to Manectric, Lantern, Minun, Galvantula, Luxray, and Golem. Mainly, my main concerns are probably Galvantula and probably Minun. And basically anything that has like basically the number like the four that are right there: Manectric, Lantern, Minun, Galvantula, and probably Luxray. So those are my main concerns right there. Because if you have energy lead on Raichu and you have a bunch of brick breaks, you just spam out the brick breaks on Golem, I wouldn't really worry too much. So if you try to build around Raichu to face those, I mean, you could potentially run, let's see, you wouldn't want to run a Minun, because the Grass 9 discharge would be wrecked by Galvantula, so you would have 2 very weak to it. I would say, let's see.
I'm simming his team right now.
Oh, true. Oh, sim his squad. Oh, from Blob. What was his squad again?
It is Galvantula, Minun, and Alolan Geodude.
So I'm trying to see what would be like the best picks. Probably Galvantula looks nice. I would probably say maybe Electrode. Or yeah, I think potentially Electrode, Raichu. How's the sim looking?
It looks interesting. It's a D for bulk, but I think that's gonna be pretty much everything. Yeah. CA. So good coverage, good consistency for damage output, which I think are gonna be important. It looks like your hole is Galvantula,
which I think
because you're only countered to that as your Alolan Geodude.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of people are gonna be running Galvantula. Boom says TM Hidden Power made a lot of item backspace. So you really correct me if I'm wrong. I think Matthew, Professor Matthew over here, you can only get whatever hidden power that Pokemon has. So you can't, like, let's just say it gets hidden power like electric, then you can't TM it like a hidden power or something else, right?
Correct. It is only given one hidden power.
So hopefully I'm misunderstanding. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not.
Yeah.
I was like, hopefully I'm misunderstanding what you did.
So
yeah, go ahead.
PV Pokes will show that it has all the hidden powers like available in its move pool, but hidden powers like Mechanic and Go is it's only given one version of
typing.
So,
yeah, one typing of the hidden power.
One's typing.
So you may get like a fire one, or you may get a grass one, but you can't TM it to where like, oh, I got a hidden power grass, I want the ground one. It doesn't work. You have to evolve one that actually learns the hidden power ground.
Yes. So think of it like this. Hidden power is just the move, and then the typing is just the variant on the move. So your move pool isn't, the 18 available typings that hidden power could have. It's actually one. It's hidden power as the move, and then it's just imprinted with what type you caught it with.
Like one might say you gotta find out what its hidden power is, right? So
yes.
So Blob is saying Geodude is the lead. So if Geodude is the lead, right? You go against Lantern. What is the other Pokemon? So he has Geodude, Minun, and what was the other one?
Galvantula.
So I guess, I mean, in all fairness, I mean, he could do Minun save swap against Lantern, and then he should be good. I mean, that seems like a fairly balanced team. It would be interesting to try it out. But we didn't get to finish the Raichu team.
Okay.
So I'm still thinking. I think I kind of like Electrode for Raichu. There's just, I'm trying to think, because like Galvantula would be annoying too. So I'm thinking potentially you can do Raichu, Galvantula, and Electrode.
Hisuian or regular?
Regular. Because I don't want to get wrecked by Galvantula.
Oh wait, sorry, my Siri popped up on there. Which one?
Just
normal Electrode?
Normal, yeah.
Are you running foul play and hyper beam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's an F bulk right there.
Bulk rating of F.
Sheesh.
Yeah, Galvantula runs through this team, but this is of oh, that's interesting that Galvantula doesn't tie.
So maybe do like a Electro lead where, let's see, where is Electro here? Electro is number 5. So I would probably do an Electro lead, and then you would have answers for the rock types. But again, most of the teams here, unless if you want to run a bulky team, you're gonna really have no coverage. Like this reminds me of like literally you're going from a glass cannon cup to another glass cannon cup.
Right.
Because like at least my team is kind of like glassy in what is it, Weather Cup? Was it Weather Cup? Yeah. Weather Cup. So so I'm trying to see. I mean, you could put okay, like I'm not gonna lie to you, I do like Raichu. Maybe you just need some bulk around it. That's the thing, like, well, okay, if you look, Togedemaru actually beats a lot of the top meta. You ask me how? I have no idea, because Manectric has overheat. Maybe it just like outpaces to certain things. Like it beats Lantern, it beats Galvantula, Electrode. So maybe you can do a Togedemaru with your for bulk with actually no, it's not bulky. It has a 132 attack. So no, you're not probably gonna get bulk. Probably do that instead of maybe the Galvantula. If you switch the Galvantula for the Togedemaru, does that improve anything? Oh wait.
I took out Electrode. I'll put back in Electrode.
Yeah, let's see if that makes it any better.
Are we running Wild Charge and Fell Stinger?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That's not too bad.
You beat Lantern, Galvantula, Hisuian, Electrode, the Graveler Golems.
Togedemaru low-key might be a pick to use.
Mm-hmm.
Togedemaru.
I think it's safe to say probably like Luxray and Manectric are pretty bait dependent on there.
Yeah.
I would take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah. That seems very interesting. I think okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Togedemaru might be a good pick, even though it does have the what's it called? Just Thundershock and Wild Charge. I mean, what other moves? I mean, it doesn't really learn anything else, right? It just learns Gyro Ball. Gyro Ball. So it you know, that's resistance, so you don't want to run that. So it just depends. I mean, like, it'd be nice. You just gotta watch out for any Luxrays with hidden power ground, because you're gonna be super weak to it. Thoughts on the Dane? I actually was looking at the Dane. I think that I mean, if you look at it, the key losses though are not the greatest. I'm sure like it's probably shield dependent as well. What did you sim now?
I was just looking at a Alolan Graveler.
Okay. The Dene is going to be running Tackle instead of its normal Thundershock. and obviously you really don't have any other two moves. Play Rough is going to be neutral against the whole meta, so that might be good. The Dene may hard wall, not hard wall. I mean, it needs to get to the energy ball to do any damage. So let's see. It beats the Dene. Surprisingly beats Togedemaru and Minun. It does lose to Lantern, so I feel like that just probably depends also like on the shield type of thing. Like, is it more a closer? I feel like it's more of a closer to me. So like, if you somehow get a shield up against the meta, you can beat the meta with the Dene. Like, if you have one shield and they have 0, the only thing that can still potentially beat it is Lantern, and everything else, like, it has a 12 wins against the meta with one shield.
That's using Play Rough.
Yeah, Play Rough, tackle, neutral damage. Now if you somehow do it to 0 to 0, it goes 66, which if we saw most of them are like that. If you want to lead it, maybe. No, as a lead, I feel like this is more of a closer Pokemon, because as 2-2 shield scenario, it has 3 wins only. Yeah,
but shield advantage
for the Dene would be nice.
Is critical.
Yeah, for the Dene, I feel like it'd be critical. Considering, I mean, I wouldn't say it has bulk, but it has some kind of HP on it. So any other interesting ones that really come to mind? You may see some Electivire. It does beat your Luxray, probably again shield dependent. It does beat Galvantula. I like that Flamethrower. The Flamethrower is going to be interesting, but you completely get wrecked by Lantern. Let me see.
I'm surprised Magneton is not higher up on here. But it's probably just because it's so glassy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking against the Geodude family with just the magnet bombs. But
I low-key want to make Raikou work. Because it has Shadow Ball. But I feel like, again, like a lot of the Pokemons with like different movesets. Okay, if somehow you get a shield up with Raikou, you can go 100% win rate.
With just a shield up?
Yeah, with just a shield up, it has a 100% win rate.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, because it has Wild Charge, Shadow Ball, and you get to the moves fairly quick. You got 5 and 7. Okay, look, I'm gonna make this thing work somehow.
I'm actually right there with you, man. I've been wanting to build one greatly.
I actually have maybe 2. I think I have a Shadow and a regular one. Probably not the ideal movesets, right? But it does. I mean, if you think about it, you gotta have some protection towards.
Lyle, of course, giving his 2 cents.
Oh, Lyle, if you had, if you thought it was bad, you can jump on, if you want.
Yeah, if you had opinions, Lyle, this could have been your spot up here, but Oh, hey, what's up, Kyle Throws? Thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome in.
How's it going? What is up? Welcome, Raiders. I completely forgot he was streaming it earlier, and I was gonna go check it out, and I'm like, oh wait, I need to prepare this freaking layout because I'm not ready. Oh, stop it, Kyle.
Kyle, I can't wait to meet you in Orlando. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. Mr. Bumbles, haven't talked to you in a while. I hope everything's going well.
What up? Yo, but with that being said, how was the stream? I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but how was the stream? We're just talking about Raikou being a thing.
Being really OP as a pick for closing out your sets and
well, if you run
Cup.
like bulky Pokemon, and then you can probably do like what, Lantern, something crazy like that. Oh, stream was so much fun. Hope yours turns out the same. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is how would you call it?
This is a takeover.
It's a takeover. Yeah, it's not the same people, right? Fish had to do a work trip, I believe. Definitely nothing to do with this meta, this amazing meta, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Lyle is sick. So
Blau says, look, Galvantula with shields up versus all the electric cup Pokemon will do. So I think with the direction that it's going, like I feel like any Pokemon that has a move that's not like electric, like Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, against the meta, like it will do fairly well. So he wants us to do Galvantula versus the meta with one shield up, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do a shield up, and then the meta with nothing. It probably does the 100% win rate. Is this kind of close? Maybe. Yeah, actually, well, this one's probably close because it's flying. And you can only throw lunge.
You're doing shields up versus shields down?
Yeah, so the meta has no shields, and then Galvantula has one shield. Again, so like if we do like the Raikou again, this is still fairly close, but then the rest of them aren't. So you always have that one Pokemon that's close. So like if you do, you can potentially run like two bulky Pokemons like Lantern. I feel like Lantern and potentially like Minun would be like two bulky Pokemons, and then you have like Galvantula in the back, or something like a Raikou, something that can close out.
I can get behind that. I think the meta is gonna be from just based on like our sims, it's gonna be pretty much if you could get shields down or take shield advantage, it looks fairly good for your backline to sweep with the shield advantage.
Yeah,
if you're using, like.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if you have like Pokemon that have different like typing chart, like it's not resistant, right? So you don't want any like electric types. Kind of like if you have a Alolan Raichu, Grass Knot, Psychic, something like that would be ideal for you to close out. So yeah, definitely. I mean, do you expect anyone to run Elekid?
I mean, for the content, right?
Yeah, exactly, right.
What does it even get up to? 1364? Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, this meta is when we talk about condensed metas, like we talk about like probably this code we're saying like this is very condensed, but this is gonna be more condensed than anything I've ever seen probably so far. Probably on par or close to the Flying Cup. It's like the same 5 Pokemon maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If you want to have some fun with it, which is, I don't know, that makes me laugh when I say that. You can, okay, again, and Lyle says that to run Chin Chow is OP apparently, low key.
Low key.
Yeah, don't.
Low key OP.
Low key OP. Lantern. I expect Lantern to be everywhere. I expect Galvantula to be everywhere. And I also expect Luxray and Manectric to be everywhere. From those four, I feel like everything else is gonna be like maybe iffy. Like I'm very close to where like the Rock Throw users are gonna still be there because it's a Rock Throw. People, it's hard to avoid a Rock Hold team. Like it's gonna happen. So I expect the Geodude family to be around, and those four Pokemon, they're gonna be like probably the most popular, and then you probably may have your like Stranglers every now and then. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you see anything else that potentially could be like very like meta, where it would make a difference for you to bring or not.
I can't see anything. Like we talked about, it's going to be a very condensed meta. I'm going to be very curious to see at the start of the week of battling in this cup versus the end of it, if it gets even like tighter of a meta.
I think it's possible. I feel like the first day it's always like you see these crazy like picks, right? So I expect definitely like, you know, your Raichu throwing out the first day, your Raikou, maybe your potential Zapdos if you're crazy. I don't know. I don't see how Zapdos. Okay, not gonna lie to you. Zapdos would not be bad against like the four that I mentioned would be like Lantern, Galvantula, Luxray, and Manectric, because Manectric and Luxray are very like glass cannon type of Pokemon. So it would hit it hard still.
Right.
But then again, the Water Gun would add up against the Zapdos, but the Zapdos Thunderbolt, you don't want to get hit with a Thunderbolt with Zapdos. And then you have Drill Peck for Galvantula. I don't know. You may have there is going to be those people that are going to run these things. So
of course.
It says, why almost no return in this meta? Hit neutral and everything. So, I mean, you could potentially... What are the shadow Pokemon? So Manectric... You could argue the fact that you could run a purified Manectric with Psychic Fang return. If you do that, I mean, is that something that would change its current wins? So, like, it has 9-3 right now. So if you were to do... Wait, where is it? Am I tripping? It doesn't learn return.
You want to go Luxray, not
Oh, this is Shadow. All right, okay. Wait. Oh, because okay, that makes sense. I was doing like this. Okay. I just wanted to try this one here. This one with I don't think it makes a difference. Yeah, no, the overheat just does like that much more damage. Yeah, no, the overheat just does like that much more damage. Oh, yeah, no, the overheat just does like... My thing just like went crazy.
Is your audio on?
Yeah. Okay. So... Yeah, no, the overheat definitely would help it. So maybe the other one, if you do Luxray. What about why don't you do Luxray? See if that with the return, if it makes a difference in the meta.
So we're at 661 with the move set, and then we go? Let's go.
So Hidden Power, maybe Psychic Fang, return. So instead of Wild Charge, you use the return.
I'm gonna have to give it return on here.
It says Luxray is over 1500 CP. Okay, so
for the purified. Oh, that would make sense. Okay.
Yeah, then that the only one that would be return. Yeah, the only one that would then the only one that could learn the return is just the maybe Ampharos would be one that you may want to try to do it with that. But again, like I feel like the shadow damage is just like it helps.
It outweighs it.
So like if you were to do Ampharos instead of Power Gem, you do the return. Or if it's it doesn't. So this one's another one that doesn't get to it. So that makes sense. So like if you were to check all the ones that could learn return, you have Electrode, Electabuzz, Luxio, Flaffy, Magnemite. So like let's just I mean Hyper Beam. I feel like I would prefer it over return. So Manectric, it didn't really help it. It helps it with overheat more just because it just does that much more damage. Electabuzz, it's number 25, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you want to use Electabuzz, just use a Electivire. So please use the MVP of the Ember Cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean like I think that's the condensed meta of the Electric Cup. I mean, I'm trying to think of...
not a whole lot. We can go more into detail.
Yeah, I know. Lyle completely missed out. He's super upset that he missed out on this great opportunity. But yeah, I mean, just looking at everything else, like I feel like nothing like Rotom's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a thing. It does have some. It has a ghost type bait move, but still like things like that I don't see them being introduced or it's gonna be like that popular. Like maybe some people may run the Alolan Raichu. So what's up, man? Yeah, so we were talking about Minun earlier, and we think that it's gonna be like one like besides the the Lantern, Galvantula, Manectric, Luxray core. I feel like that's going to be your core for this cup. Minun is definitely going to be up there with them, along with the Geodude family. Minun with Grass Knot Discharge. I think Grass Knot just helps against the Geodude family, against Lantern. It does get walled by Galvantula, and then it does get beaten by Manectric as well. So It does have a little bit of bulk. If you want bulk, you definitely want to use a Minun. So yeah, Minun's definitely gonna be an interesting pick for this cup as well. I expect again, like I said, Galvantula, Lantern, Luxray, Manectric, Geodude family, and your occasional Stranglers. So I don't know. I mean, like, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add to this, but with 49 Pokemon, there's so much you can talk about, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if Fish is lurking around or not. But I don't know if the raid command is the same thing here. Which it doesn't look like it is. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to raid somebody. So I apologize, Fish, if you wanted that. Let's see. Yeah, is Fish legend? He is a legend to me, but I don't know if he's actually hit legend in GBL.
He's hit it in previous seasons. I'm not sure about this season yet.
Yeah, I don't know if he's hit it this season yet. I mean, I think on his Twitter page he would have probably posted it. They say that I don't see him on YouTube anymore. Yeah, he was on here last Tuesday. If I'm not mistaken. He should be back next Tuesday. I'll let him know that you guys missed him. But yeah, with that being said, I mean, like, unless if not Lyle, or maybe Lyle too can help, but I don't think Yeah, he streams on the weekends and usually in the mornings for North America. Again, I don't know how to raid on his OBS setup or how he has it, so doesn't look like we'll be raiding anybody, unless if he is lurking somewhere. But again, like anything to do with this cup, again, like it's not gonna be anything crazy.
It's gonna be very condensed.
Yeah.
And makes it easier to learn your counts though when you see the same things over and over again.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. I don't think is it? I have no idea. So I don't think it's gonna work. Sorry, Fish, but hey, this is the electric cup. This is the electric cup meta. But yeah, you know, I don't know when they're gonna come back on. I'm gonna plug myself. I think I should be back on BTW PvP channel for Twitch on Thursday. Maybe I get Matthew. I don't know. Or maybe I get Lyle. So you know, who knows who I get. So it's whatever I can scram.
Yeah.
What a great meta, right? It's an amazing meta. Guys. Be excited. You know, Lyles was very, like we said, Lyles was just very upset at himself that he couldn't go over this meta because it was just so great. But yeah, so I mean, I think we went over most of the important picks that you want to use if anybody is going to be running this cup. Almost as good as Fighting Cup. I actually 100% prefer this over Fighting Cup all day, every day. Fighting Cup, I feel like was super bad, almost as bad as Flying Cup. This I feel like is probably third place in terms of like how, you know, condensed it is, right? I don't want to say it's bad. But yeah, so with that being said, unfortunately, like I said, we won't be able to rate anybody, but you know, appreciate you guys for tuning in. We did have a good crowd with the huge raid, and you know, appreciate everybody. And if you guys do want to catch me on Twitch, like I said, BTW PvP, and I'll be there on Thursday and Sundays. Matthew is on
YouTube, I'm on BTW's YouTube channel, which is BTW PvP Official. I believe I'm gonna be streaming this Sunday at 10 a.m. With my buddy Smiley. So subscribe to our channel. You'll get a notification when we're scheduled to go live, and hope to see you guys there.